Hey everybody. Happy, what is it? Friday. The day after Thanksgiving. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday for those of you who did not celebrate Thanksgiving. And for those of you who are not in the US, I just hope you had a wonderful week. And so thank you all for joining me as always. I really appreciate you guys that are my avid, faithful listeners. Some of you have been following me and listening every single day. So thank you. I appreciate it. We are on day 25, y'all. So we have 5 more days to go. It's been an interesting 25 days, right, for November. I hope you've learned something and have something that has you've taken something that or will be able to continue to take something that you can use throughout your CRA journey. So today we're going to hop right in. And for those of you who are just tuning in, you can look at the replays if you missed day 1 through 24, any of those days. You can watch the replay and it's on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. So check it out if you've missed anything, or if you watched it and you want to take another look just because you need to go back and hear what I said again. So let's hop in to day 25. And today's problem is you don't know where and or how to find the right CRA job. And when I say that, meaning you don't know where to look, whether that be online or offline, you don't know how you should be looking, how you can find the right opportunities, and right opportunities meaning entry level CRA jobs for CRAs that don't have monitoring experience. Yes, they do exist. Now, the solution to this problem, as all the problems that I tell y'all, it's very simple. Everything that I talk about, all the problems that we have, believe it or not, even myself, when I was trying to land my first CRA job, if I heard myself talking and I heard me say that it was simple, I would say that I'm crazy. But no, it really is simple, y'all. We just complicate it. So the solution to this problem is simply to create and execute on a strategic plan of locating and attracting the right CRA job opportunities. Now, I said a mouthful and you see strategically, but don't let that word fool you, because it's just essentially just applying the right tools, the right way. And I'm not even going to say right because I don't like that word, but the most efficient way to job search. And so let's take a look at how can this be done, right? I know a lot of you are probably thinking, okay, Jasmyn, sure, but how? Obviously, I'm not doing it, so how am I supposed to do it? So one of the ways we talked about, we did a whole little section on LinkedIn. I don't remember what days it was, but check out the replays if you missed it. We did a whole little section on LinkedIn and leveraging the entire platform and really turning it into a landing page, because it is truly your best marketing asset. So take a look at that. But LinkedIn, y'all, is the most obvious primary way. And one of the ways is that you can use their job search engine. So many people know of LinkedIn as like this social media platform for professionals, but it's so much more than that, which is why I did several days, a whole little series on that for this 30 over 30 period. But using it as a job search engine. So just like Indeed or Career Builder or Monster, the job search engines that most people are familiar with, LinkedIn has its own. So you literally can search for CRA1 jobs, entry-level CRA jobs on LinkedIn. That's the primary way. Another way would be to network on LinkedIn. I say LinkedIn a lot because LinkedIn is my primary platform for creating a CRA job attraction system and landing jobs. It's my primary platform that I coach my clients on. It's the platform that we work together to build that strategic CRA job attraction system that I always talk about on. So I'm always going to be a big proponent and advocate for LinkedIn. You can do the same thing on other platforms, but LinkedIn is definitely the way to go if you're trying to really not just land a job, but create a transformation and take your career to the next level. I'll put it that way. So networking. And when I say networking, not just clicking the connect button or clicking the follow button or sending your canned coins. Hey, I want to be a CRA, or hey, I saw this job, can you refer me? Or, hey, I want to be a CRA, what do I need to do? Not sending that message, but truly sending, making connections and sending messages that really and truly speak to who you are, what you're doing. And don't put, we talked about this a few days ago too, and not putting any tasks or to-do lists on the person that you're networking with. So don't ask them. One person asked me to send them several CRA job descriptions. That would have required definitely a lot of work on my part that I quite frankly don't have the time to allocate my time, let's put it that way, towards that specific task for someone else, especially when you can do it on your own. So don't put the responsibility on the person that you're connecting with. But when you reach out, have good questions, good quality questions. Ask, can you set up a chat and see how you guys can help each other out? Because a lot of times you can actually help whoever you're speaking with. You don't always have to have a job or be able to directly give them access or directly give them what they want on the front end. There are ways that you can be beneficial. So just simply hopping on the phone and saying, hey, can we have a quick chat? I'm building my network in the industry and I love to see how we could help each other. Just wording it that way will get you a lot more traction than always the cans, coins, I want to be a CRA, can you help me? Like that's too broad, it's too open-ended, and it's not specific enough. And not just networking with recruiters, but networking with managers to some of the companies that you're interested in. How can you find these managers? If you're interested in a specific company, search for that company and then go on that company's page. And then if you look under people or employees, then it will have a long list of a lot of people that have linked their profiles for that particular company. And you can go through and look at their job titles. And then that will give you a clue as to who are the managers, who are the recruiters, and then other clinical research professionals. So you can reach out to other clinical research associates, study coordinators, clinical trial assistants, research specialists, project coordinators. There's so many titles. The list goes on and on, but really building, establishing, creating, nurturing a broad network, not just only targeting recruiters. Another way is to set up job alerts on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, yes, it is a job search platform, and therefore you can set up job alerts. And job alerts are simply keywords that you put in and you set it up so that, let's say you put clinical research assistant 1. So every time someone posts a job with that specific title in it, then you'll get a job alert saying, hey, someone just posted this job. So you'll get immediately notified. And that cuts back on some of the manual searching that you have to do. But keeping in mind, it's going to look for that specific term that you put in. So put in multiple variations of CRA. So CRA 1, CRA, just CRA, clinical research associate 1, entry-level clinical research associate, and then entry-level. Just you need multiple variations in order to make sure that you can kind of throw out a wide net and catch all of those jobs, just in case the company posts the title a little bit differently than what you have captured in as a keyword or term in the job alert system. You can also do the same for other job search engines like Indeed. That I would say Indeed is the second most used platform by recruiters. LinkedIn is number 1. Indeed is number 2, and then all the others fall below that. I don't really go too far. I know some people are still using like Career Builder and Monster, but I really only focus on LinkedIn, and then Indeed is like my second one. So you can set up job alerts on other search engines. You can also set up job alerts on companies' website. Now, every company doesn't have their system set up this way, but a lot of the big ones, most of the big ones, a lot of the mid-tiered ones, some of the small ones, they have their job careers centers set up so that you can create job alerts for their system. So again, you don't have to manually go to all these different companies' websites. You can create job alerts, and then you'll get notified whenever that specific job is posted that you're looking for. And the same concepts, put in different variations, different terms and keywords so that you can throw out that wide net. And not miss anything. And then you also want to manually search on job search platforms. I mentioned using multiple different um, keywords, terms, right? So, mm, talking too fast. I mentioned using different keywords and terms so that you can throw out that wide net, but sometimes you're still going to miss it. It's just the nature of the beast when we're using electronic systems, but that's okay because you can manually search. So that's why I have up here to manually search some of these platforms and then also manually do the same thing for specific companies that you're interested in. So for all of my clients at the beginning of us working together, once we get the resume, the cover letter, all that stuff done, we focus on a specific list of companies, your dream companies that you want to work for. And I recommend for you guys, for my clients, this, I'm not going to say I force them to do it, but it's strongly, strongly recommended, I'll say, for clients. So I strongly, strongly recommend it for y'all too, where you make your list of dream companies and then you go into those companies and at least have job alerts set up for those companies. Now, there's so many companies out there, it would be challenging to do that for every single CRO, every single pharma, biotech, every single company, right? It can be done, but it'd be challenging and it's unnecessary. So that's why I always recommend at least the top companies that you have on your dream job list. And then also search for the right titles. Make sure you're searching for the right titles. Now, you notice I said again earlier to use different variations of the clinical research associate one title. And sometimes, y'all, companies are using sneaky terms because they're trying to get fancy with the titles. So instead of just saying clinical research associate, they might say site management associate, right? Some people are saying site management ambassador, clinical monitoring associate. There's different terms, different titles that people are using nowadays, but it's still a CRA. It's still a clinical research associate role. You just want to make sure that you're looking for all these different titles within the company. So that's why I say manually search too, because sometimes you're going to miss. But if you manually search and you go through the jobs that are posted, then you can decipher if that is a CRA job or not. And then you can even further drill down and decide if it's an entry-level CRA job. Because going back to what I said, I think a day or two ago, you want to make sure it's the right level. So as a new entry level CRA, you want to stay away from the junior and senior level jobs. And if you look at the day where I talked about that, discussed that, I explained why, but you want to stay away from those jobs and make sure you're focusing on the entry level CRA jobs. So look for different title names and then drill down and look for the level of CRA. And then sometimes they might not have like CRA 1, 2, senior, whatever listed. So you'll have to go into the description and see what the requirements are. Now, say if it says 2 years or less of experience required. And when I say experience, meaning monitoring experience, I say go for it. Just because sometimes the entry level roles will say 2 years of monitoring experience, but there are exceptions to that requirement that's listed on the JD, and that is you having the right CRA gateway skills is what I call them. And that is a strong substitution for having that direct monitoring experience. And if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say gateway skills, you can check out my podcast where I talk all about the CRA gateway skills. It's on confessionsofaCRA.com. So that covers everything that I wanted to talk about today and making sure that you guys know exactly how to find the right CRA jobs. And for those of you who aren't interested in doing this alone and you want more support and you're interested in learning how you can work with me to get that support, I have a 6-month coaching program where I help clinical research professional women confidently land their first job offers, struggle and frustration free, and with no monitoring experience. You don't need a CRA certification, all through teaching you mindsets and how to brand, market, and sell yourself. The program includes an initial onboarding kickoff call to immediately assess and revamp your resume, cover letter, and LinkedIn profile right out the gate. So we have that started out right from the beginning. And then 6 months of high-level one-on-one private coaching sessions directly with me. And then you'll also get immediate on-demand access to my curriculum filled with all the frameworks, the templates, the checklist, everything that you need to land your first CRA job offer. You'll also get direct messaging support from me so that we can communicate outside of the weekly calls. You'll get a bonus mock interview with a recruiter. You get bonus courses on negotiating a high-paying job offer and then fast-tracking your career once you land that first job offer. And then you'll also get a bonus CRA career plan that's tailored and customized just for you, and then so much more. So if you're ready to confidently land your first CRA job offer, struggle and frustration-free, without all of the hopelessness, without all of the doubts, without all of the confusion, and then not worried about having a monitoring experience or a CRA certification, book a sales call with me to learn all about my one-on-one coaching program, private coaching program, and how I can help you. Just visit aspiringcra.com. So tomorrow we'll be back. I'll be back on again. Day 26. Like I said, we have 5 more days, so you don't want to miss out. And as always, if you have any questions or comments about anything that we've discussed so far, feel free to drop it in the comments field, or you can DM me directly on LinkedIn. But other than that, thank you guys as always for joining me. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you guys and tuning in tomorrow.